Hey everybody, I'm Chad Booksam. This is AMTV, Alternative Media Television. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to roundtable the news. I want to start with the coronavirus first, some important updates. Before I do that, please thumb up this video, please share it, get it out everywhere. With your help and support, we're able to get these messages out, and we appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. Now, starting with the coronavirus in New York, it's up 50%, and dozens of people are under mandatory quarantine. Now, obviously, when you have mandatory quarantine by the government, that means you're not allowed to leave quarantine until the government says so, and they will enforce it. You know, a place like New York, where it's awfully, in these places that are run by certain politicians and a certain political party, they're the most filthy. I mean, I was just there. It's really filthy there. Something like this can easily spread. I wouldn't be surprised if the entire city of New York and Manhattan gets quarantined. And, people are really concerned. I was even going into supermarkets. Supermarkets, they're putting up signs saying you can only have a certain amount of flu products or sanitization products and things of that nature. And obviously, the health officials are pushing you to go get the flu vaccine, even though there's no proof that the flu vaccine will prevent you from getting the coronavirus. But health officials on TV are saying, go get it. Pump yourself up with the vaccine. And whatever they develop next, they're going to make sure that you don't leave quarantine until you inject that in your body. So that's going to be up to you. You want to stay in quarantine? Look, we're going to be herded like sheep in this country. Prepare for this, because it's going to happen if this gets worse. And again, they will forcefully vaccinate you. And this is 100% clear. This is 100% clear. President Trump and the markets, we had a great January, February jobs report. And I know the media is trying to blame this on President Trump, like the coronavirus came from the president or something. This is something that nobody, no matter who they are, no matter how great of a president, can actually stop. This came from the Chi-Coms. All right, they've been working on coronavirus strains. They were working on this particular strain. This came out of China. This came out of Wuhan. This didn't come from Americans, okay? America wasn't the one spreading it, but the mainstream media obviously takes anything and they direct it, politicize it, and want to attack the president with it. And this is why people won't even prepare or take it seriously, because they look at the media and the media is like, oh my God, they don't want to be a part of this attack on the president when it has nothing to do with them. And this is why a lot of people don't even like talking about it, because it's all pointed to an attack on the president. It's the president's fault, right? And one thing I want to make sure everybody's clear on, that this isn't just like a natural virus where, okay, it's like the cold and flu. I don't like when I've been hearing this a lot. Guys, this is constructed in a lab. This is a weaponized strain of the coronavirus that was released into the public. You don't know what it's going to do to your body. Who wants this in their body, honestly? So take it seriously, but of course it's not President Trump's fault. No matter how much the media wants to turn it, they're just like that because they're evil. We have an evil media apparatus in this country who wants to divide and conquer this country. And trust me, they'll be doing just fine. They'll be doing just fine while they're trying to herd the rest of this country like sheep. Now, another thing I want to discuss, so keep your eye on that, guys. I've been trying to point this out. I mean, the markets are kind of collapsing. They're trying to stay on their feet the best they can. We're pumping it up. The Federal Reserve is pumping it up. Just prepare your assets, prepare yourself, and just be smart about it. That's one of the important things I could say. Now, I want to transition from the coronavirus into just the area of politics for a second, and I want to talk about, why we're seeing Biden kind of coming out as the nominee. We see all these people. We see all of the energy under Bernie Sanders, right, under the progressive vote. We see Bernie Sanders, okay, when he has these rallies, he has thousands of people there, right? But guess what? They're all children, right? They're all kids, and they can't vote, right? Most of these people can't vote. They're just children, which is kind of creepy for an old man to attract that much children. What do you say? It's not like President Trump rallies when you have tens of thousands of actual voters, especially registered voters, or they get registered when they go to the rally. Okay, and this is something that no politician can match. So you have Joe Biden. Now, they're going to basically move him to the forefront. Most likely, it's going to be him. I don't see Bernie Sanders coming out on top at all, given the fact that he lost Massachusetts, he lost Maine. He's probably not the Bernie Sanders of 4 years ago. So it's going to go with old Joe. Now, I want to just discuss this for a second because, this is something that we've seen in the last election where moderate Democrats, Midwestern, and the workers, they really went to Trump. They didn't like Hillary Clinton, and they really went to President Trump, right? And we want to continue this phase. We want to continue this as we go into the 2020 election. Now, the only concern is a lot of people who probably don't follow it too much. I don't blame people for not following politics too much. I mean, who does want to follow politics this much? But when you look at Joe Biden, oh, this guy, okay, it's fine. I don't have much of a problem with Joe Biden like I would have with Bernie Sanders. It's reasonable. He seems like a reasonable, rational guy, right? He's basically like an empty vessel. So these Midwestern workers and these Democrats might vote for Joe Biden. But look, how are we going to give? This is the things that you need to tell your friends and your neighbors and something like that. How are we going to put the Democrats back in power after what they did the last 4 years? They tried to destroy this country. They launched a coup against the president. They tore this country apart. Everything they've done has been disgusting and evil. Now we're going to put this major political party back in the front lines of the White House just because old Joe doesn't have nothing to say and he's the only one who's not a full-on rabid socialist? Guess what? The party is socialist. Why are you going to put this party that is socialist in power? And look, Joe Biden, he's not going to be doing much of this stuff. It's going to be his young socialist people around him in the deep state, in the Justice Department, and these neo-Democrats with these foreign, it's not going to stop. It's going to be much worse than it was under Obama, especially because you have these socialist workers that are all in the deep state now taking charge. And he's not going to care. He's not going to do nothing. So he's counting on people to see him as old, rational Joe. Right? This is what he's counting on. Now, and if you look at what's going on, the media obviously is going to do everything to protect Joe. Even Mitt Romney has said he's going to vote against putting out a subpoena against Hunter Biden regarding all the corruption that was done in Ukraine and things of that nature. But I mean, look at that for 1 second. I mean, I'm surprised people in Utah haven't kind of rose up, against Mitt Romney, just demanding his resignation. It's this guy. He is the worst. Just corrupt politician. He says, oh, well, the investigation into Hunter Biden seems political. So are you telling me the impeachment against President Trump wasn't political? Are you telling me that the investigation about Russia wasn't political? And speaking of Russia, I hope everybody has noticed now, any time that the establishment wants to take out a candidate, what do they use? Russia. So now Bernie supporters are like, oh, now I get it. I really thought President Trump worked with Putin to take the election, but now they're saying it about, but wait a minute, I get it now. Yes, anytime you go against the establishment, you're marked a Russian agent. Tulsi Gabbard is a Russian agent. It's funny, Tulsi Gabbard, so you have Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. Tulsi Gabbard is the only one still kind of in the race. Elizabeth Warren dropped out, but she's not going to support Bernie because she hates him. She hates Bernie Sanders. Okay, and Tulsi Gabbard is the only woman left in the race. And then she won a delegate, meaning with the current DNC rules, she's allowed on the debate stage. Well, guess what? The DNC is changing the rules to keep the only woman of color out of the presidential race because the Democrat Party is all about diversity, right? That's why there's just 2 old white men, okay, running for election. Honestly, Joe Biden couldn't even run for re-election if he wins. Doesn't have the energy, and honestly, when it comes to intelligence, when it comes to all of this action that was done, when it comes to everything President Trump has done the last few years. I mean, look at the economy, look at the deregulation, look pulling us out of all these globalist networks. Look what he's done with immigration. He's building the wall. I mean, look how he fought and exposed the media. Look how he fought and exposed the deep state. I mean, look how he fought and he's shutting down socialism. This is a great 4 years, and that's why he should win re-election. Not because old Joe is just some rational guy and it's okay, I won't feel as bad because a crazy socialist won't take power. So we'll see how that goes. But keep in mind, the DNC is going to put in all their effort, everything that they have, into this race, right? They're going to do everything that they have. Billions of dollars are going to go into it. Maybe a lot of people who aren't supposed to vote are going to vote. This is what you're going to see happen. But keep an eye out on the socialist aspect of it. Because a member of Bernie's camp, what did he say? He said, we will burn cities down if Bernie doesn't win the nomination or if Bernie doesn't win the election. Well, guess what? He's not going to win. All right, so watch Antifa kind of get deployed onto the streets because obviously, they have no jobs or anything like that, so it's easy, and they're getting paid and funded by certain billionaires in the background. So I wanted to keep your eye on these 2 aspects that we're in this year. We have a deadly virus that's spreading around the globe with mandatory quarantines. We have a mainstream media that's not going to tell you the truth, that's just going to attack President Trump and make you not even want to be involved in this preparedness of it. And then we have a situation where a socialist movement will be in the White House disguised by old rational Joe if people allow him to win. So make sure this does not happen. And make sure we take back the House, because I guarantee you, when President Trump wins re-election, okay, he's going to get impeached a second time, and it's going to be so historic. The media is going to come out, oh my God, history has been done. The first president in history to be impeached twice, and then most likely acquitted twice. Right. Anyway, guys, I love you so much. My name is Chad Booksam. This is AMTV, hard-hitting and in your face. After the darkness of this plague, you want to be able to come out of it in good condition, not just physically and health-wise, but also financially. So make sure you diversify. This is one of the things that you can also do in your household to protect your family for what's coming. And again, that's diversifying into gold and silver. If you want to learn more about it, click the link below. You'll get free consultation from our partners at Birch Gold. They'll discuss this with you. They'll make it easy for you. And again, just do it before it gets too late. Do it before the pandemic breaks out, and do it before the banks don't let you move it or the banks don't let you pull out any money. So do it now and click the link below and get the free kit and also take the free consultation. It's absolutely so important.